Welcome back to these lovely episodes that we're doing on The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is episode 3, Buildings, or as I like to call, Textures and Shadows. Now this is really important when we work with textures and shadows. We start out, we're looking at Jack's house. I'm doing the highlights and all that. I wanted to make his house look kind of blue, but his house is made of wood. That's an important texture to get a hold of when I'm doing this. I paint a little bit of extra white or these light blues around the rims. I'm going to think of how the light from the moon hits it, how the light from maybe the windows coming from the house might hit. Look at, say, Dr. and Sally's house. It's purple. As you know, I like working with purples. But theirs is kind of a mix of metal shingling. There's some brick around the bottom. And I have a funny story about these buildings that I'm doing. It was really tough to get the right reference photos or the right references, period, to make sure I get these angles right for where they sit in my painting. And I spent well over an hour looking for Jack's house, whether between pausing the movie or if it's between looking at other artists' work. There wasn't a ton of stuff out there on Jack's house. There is, but not at the angles I was looking for. So ultimately, I ended up getting a figurine and looking at the figurine to help with it. And I put some other really fun houses I thought that stood out within the movie. So like what you're seeing is the witch's house. That was so cool. It does bother me a little bit that the nose part of it's off to the side there, but that's part of what makes Tim Burton stuff so creative. It doesn't always line up. It's not all structure. So the OCD in me went crazy with this, but I'm glad I did it this way because I was holding true to the artist's original designs, I hope and pray. I think it came out cool and it forced me to go outside of my box a little bit. And I think that's important, especially as an artist or anything that you do, to push yourself a little bit. Now this octopus house, oh man, truth, I don't know whose house this is. I saw lots and lots of references to it and it's in there. And I like the shape of it, so I went ahead and used it. But if anybody is a die-hard Nightmare Before Christmas fan, please don't forget to share this video with others so they can see what we did here. I would also like you to put in the comments, please, whose house is this? I don't know. I did a lot of research there and found I have no idea whose house that is. So please, if anybody's out there, help me out. Put it in the comments. Let us know which character that house belongs to. I'll go back more into the technicalities now that we're on the mayor's house here. The mayor's house. Oh my goodness. Town Hall. When we look at Town Hall, I was really critical about how the shadows hit this one and the lighting and the colors. This is kind of an underpainting as well. I am going to come back and do these details later. Like I told you with Jack's house, I'll go back and do some more details. At this part of the process of the whole painting, I do mix details with underpaintings if I can, but I always save the best for last. I love doing details at the end, and details are so much more fun if you do the right groundwork, and that's exactly what's happening here as I'm laying the groundwork for this. If I'm painting the edge of the town hall right here, I'm even going to put a little bit of yellow on this later to show that the moon is what's lighting that side up. But I want to make sure it's light enough and prepared for when I go to that part. And you can see that I've actually put shadows in there. Again, this is why I love working with the black background or the black canvas to start with, because some of these shadows are already there. I do have to go back occasionally like you see here and put it in there, but I get the effect that I want. I'm gonna start painting on these posts, these pillars here. Now, if you've watched some of these other episodes, you'll know that purple is very, very giving. It's very lenient when I do this. So when I'm painting these edges of these pillars, I get a little bit sloppy, I'll be honest, but it achieves the exact desire that I want, because if these pillars are always purple no matter what, it just depends on where the light hits. So the shadows and the purple, it all blends really nice for me, I feel. And I will go back later and do some more highlights, as I said, but for now, I just really want to make sure that this texture looks like stone. So it's a little bit powdery, a little bit coarse. And I do these edges, and I want to make sure the shadows fall in the right spots too. So that's my goal with all of this right now, is just make sure the values and the depths are there. And then when we think about lighting, boom, I mean, here's the lighting coming from there. Purple and orange, just like I said, my favorite to use is secondary colors. I feel they're such a great complement to each other, and I'll work on this lighting more and more and more. And I'm sloppy with it too. You'll see towards the end I kind of cover up the mayor's head, but he's all black, so I'm going to be able to come back and paint black over it. I want to make sure that this lighting pops and it's rich, because even though the lighting's coming from behind him, that's going to come back and affect some of our characters that you're going to see in our next episode. So if you like what you saw this time around, remember, details are coming. We have more episodes coming. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time to check us out. We love all the support. We love you guys, and don't forget to comment. Thank you. We'll see you next time.